Hello, sir. Welcome to Comic Book Curious. Can you please tell me who your favorite superhero is and why?
I'm going to have to go with Batman.
Okay.
Been a Batman fan up and down. Just something about when I started collecting comics and reading comics and getting into superheroes, he always was the one that stood out to me just because normal guy, really rich, but did something, and just how smart and just using the idea of fear to take down the criminals and everything like that. And just the history of the villains, the storylines, just like everything about it. If I have to pick a DC one, that's definitely top of my list. So.
Oh, that's a great answer. Okay, great.
What is your superhero power?
Superhero power. Looking around all my stuff down here, and there's so many choices. I definitely know it's not. I know it's not flight. I've liked the idea of more from the X-Men and everything like that, being the ability to shapeshift.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the ability to shapeshift. I'll go with that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. What is your everyday superhero power now?
Everyday superhero power is probably thinking on my feet. Being an administrator at a high school, you got to be able to think on your feet, not only in a normal environment, but in a pandemic environment. Things get changed at the last minute, so you can't panic and just got to use all my knowledge and know-how to think on my feet and get a quick answer.
That's a good one. That's good. Okay. Who would win in a battle, Marvel or DC?
Looking at the characters, and I'm also including now Vertigo in that line of DC, I'm going to go with DC because if you've got Dr. Manhattan out there, just zap away, and there we go. So if you got Dr. Manhattan in your lineup, I'm going DC.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. I haven't heard that before. Okay. Can you, besides your parents, can you name any superhero in your life, like a real life superhero?
Real life superhero. Just trying to choose someone that sticks, like there's ones that stick out in my mind, but
yeah, you can pick like one person that you know personally and that you really admire every day, and then maybe someone like your favorite
I would have to say like someone outside of someone that I know was the educator Randy Pausch. He did the last lecture that it really took off, and he said like when he went into that whole talk, it became a book, became a sensation. It was all about what he could leave behind. And he said, of course, I get cancer and I get to give the lecture at that point. Just going off the lessons he's learned, how to keep that childhood spirit, and just how much he's given back, how much he's learned in his life. And then at the end of it all, he says his big thing was head fakes in life. He said the head fake is if you're a coach, you're not just teaching them how to play a sport, you're teaching them all these other skills, these head fakes. He said, did you catch the head fake about this whole thing? Lecture's not for you, lecture's for my kids. Thank you. And he leaves me with that. And it's just all, the whole talk is like 2 hours, and it's just at the end of it, it's just like all everyone's heart just like pours out just because it was just a way to end that whole thing. It was perfect. And just all his little tidbits of advice, like he would go in and say, brick walls are there for a reason. Brick walls are there to prove to yourself how badly you want something. It's there to stop other people. So many different quotes I use from that. Personally, like you said, outside my parents, I would have to say one of my assistant principals that kind of inspired me to become one, and just always would take me under his wing, saw something in me. I never even dreamed about being an administrator in a school. Never. I wanted to be a teacher forever, but just saw something in me and mentored me and encouraged me and has always been there giving me the advice I've needed along the way. So, yeah.
That's awesome. What's his or her name?
His name is Joe Gala.
Awesome. That's great. That's a good one. Okay. What is your passion?
Passion besides my job?
Yeah.
Besides being a husband and a father and things like that, personal, but that's what I do every day. And then the job, caring about seeing these kids, like working at high school has always been my one thing I've always loved, because I love seeing these kids go on and get that one moment to, and get them to cross that graduation stage. And so that's why I do what I do. It's definitely not for the paycheck. And people say it's so tough. I said, I'm not going to lie. There are days that are just rough. That you can say that with any job. Being in that building, and it's actually a school that I used to teach at too. So it holds a special meaning to me. That I always tell people I came back not because I want it, not because necessarily I just want to have that welcome back Cotter experience. It means something to me. The students mean something to me, and I want to be there to help them get across that stage and see them accomplish their dreams. That's my passion every day. It's the crux of being an administrator. So the minute people say, "Oh, you entered the dark side," I said, "Yeah, you can say that, but if I didn't still love kids and I didn't still love teaching, I wouldn't recommend anyone doing what I do."
That's great, man. That's the heroic shit right there.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right, speed round. 1 or 2 word answers.
Okay.
Do you choose Wolverine or Cyclops?
Wolverine.
Are you an introvert or extrovert?
I'm a mixture of both. Depends on the situation.
Okay, and Amber. Do you prefer sweet or salty?
I go with sweet.
Sweet. Batman or Iron Man?
They're both my favorites on both sides, so I'll go with Batman, obviously.
Batman, all right. YouTube
or Netflix?
Netflix.
Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?
Wonder Woman.
Super strength or super smart?
Super smart.
Ooh. Favorite illustrator and writer in the comic world?
All right, currently. I'll go with currently at this point. I'm going to go with writer. It's a tie because it's just 2 different kind of genres. Writer is either going to be Scott Snyder or Ed Brubaker. And then Pence, that's tough. That's even tougher.
You can do 2 or 3 if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. We got Jason Fedbach. There's just so many. I'm just going to go I'll go with Capullo just because they're wrapping up with Batman at this point. Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole interview.